Now that we have these properties of derivatives, let's put them to use and find some derivatives when we're asked. The first thing is we are given r of t and u of t, and we want to find all of these properties. So r prime of t is pretty straightforward. We just say the derivative of t is 1, the derivative of 3t is 3, and the derivative of t squared is 2t. But what we might want to do is go ahead and find u prime of t. And the reason we want to do that is we're going to use that in a lot of these problems here. So let's go ahead and have it in our pocket. And that one's fairly straightforward. So if we do the derivative of 3 times r of t minus u of t, we can look over here and we can say, well, since they're subtracted, we will take each derivative and subtract, but this is 3r of t, so we can use this here and say that's going to be 3r prime of t minus u prime of t, and we can just put together these pieces we've already had. So that's 3 plus 4 is 7, or minus, 3 minus 4 is negative 1. 9 minus 2t, 6t minus 3t squared. Okay? Now we have 5t u of t. So this right here, we could think of w of t being 5t. And so w prime of t is 5. So we can use this property. So w prime is 5. So 5 times u of t. So that's 5. Well, we'll add here. 5t. So that's 5 times here plus 5t times r prime. Whoops. I'm getting ahead of myself. 5t. And then we do the same thing here. So w prime times the second piece is 15. 15t plus 5t times 3, so that's 15t as well. And then w prime is 5t squared plus 5t times 2t. So that's 5t squared plus 10t squared. So we get 10t, 30t, 15t squared. Now that was a lot of work. What you might have considered doing is just taking wt and multiplying it in. That would have been 5t squared. Its derivative is 10t. 15t squared. Derivative is 30t. 5t cubed. Derivative 15t squared. So that might have been an easier way to do that. Let's do it with the dot product. So we have these 4 pieces. So r prime dotted with u of t. So that's r prime dotted with u. So that's 4t plus 3t squared plus 2t to the 4th. And then we have r dotted with u prime. So 4t plus 4t plus 6t squared plus 3t to the 4th. That's going to get us, our final answer is 5t to the 4th plus 9t squared plus 8t. Okay? And now we have r of 2 of t. So the way we do that is we take r prime, but wherever we would have t, we replace it with 2t. So that's 1, 3, 4t. And then we multiply that times the derivative of w. So instead of 2, the derivative of 2t is 2. So this becomes 2, 6, and 8t. Which again makes sense because if we plugged it in here, we would have 2t, 6t, and 4t squared. So 2t, 6t, 4t squared derives to 8t. And finally, we have this piece. This one's going to be a little more complicated. So we'll do I, J, K, I, J. So we take r prime cross u of t. So r prime, 1, 3, 2t, 1, 3, crossed with a regular u, so 4t, t squared, t cubed, 4t, t squared. And then we're also going to do the other cross product. And that is r crossed with u prime. So that's t, 3t, t squared. And then u prime, 4, 2t, 3t squared, 4, 2t. All right, so let's calculate these out. So if I go across, I get 3t cubed I plus 8t squared j plus t squared k. Then backwards, I get minus 2t cubed I minus 12tk minus t cubed j. So I'm going to get t cubed I plus 8t squared minus t cubed j plus t squared minus 12t k. Well, that's a lot there. We can verify that those are orthogonal to, in this case, r prime and u of t if we want to. We're not going to do that because we're already kind of running over here. So if we multiply through, we're going to get 9t cubed I plus 4t squared j plus 2t squared k minus 12tk minus 2t cubed I minus 3t cubed j. So we're going to get 7t cubed I plus 4t squared minus 3t cubed j plus 2t squared minus 12t k. And our answer will be adding those two together. So you'll get 8t cubed. And then over here we have 12t squared minus 4t cubed. And then we have 3t squared minus 24t. So this one does take a while, but the premise is straightforward. Follow the algorithm.